And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the semifinals of the 2025 Summer Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament here on DWR Randomizer. It's game 2 between Beta and Ryguy. Hi, everyone. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23, and joining me on the commentary tonight, the 2021 Summer Champion, Tilo. Boy, oh boy, an exciting matchup here. One of these two is going to make their first Summer Championship, and right now Beta, who has been on some kind of tear, up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, these are two grizzled veterans who I believe are both in their 7th tournament now, have been top players for years and just have never been able to push through, gotten unlucky here and there, and to see them kind of get here after so much high-level play for so many years, it's really nice, and I'm super excited to see it.
Me too, but what else is super exciting? Look at these stats that these runners are starting with. 5 strength, no magic, no spells, 15 agility, 24 HP. This very well could be a slog of a start, Tilo.
Oh yeah, I love 5 strength start. You only have a 1 out of 3 chance to hit a Drakey, so you're actually better off with ghosts than Drakeys, but you don't have enough HP or defense to damage race a ghost, so you've got to be finding those slimes, or else you're going to have to find yourself some sort of throwable item.
Yep, like a torch or fairy water. Hopefully the king will provide. And we are underway here. Game number 2. Beta currently ahead 1-0. Both of them are in their first summer semifinal. Ryguy was a finalist in the winter tournament, so he's looking to get the exacta here and make the finals in both. But he's going to have to come back from 1-0, as we do have the fairy flute and an herb. Well, bad news for these runners here, Tilo. No such throwable weapons to start things off.
That herb, though, is very underrated because you can use it potentially to, if you go and save it, which neither of them did, potentially damage race a ghost by just giving yourself enough hit points to get those 6 swings down.
I'd like to see somebody try to damage race against the skeleton this early on. It is definitely... Look at the enemies in this zone. We got an Axe Knight as well. There is a town nearby, which Ryguy's trying to get to, but look at the encounter rate in these desert tiles. They're getting... Can Ryguy make it? Ryguy does make it. Oh, and it is keys. It's Rimmildar. There's just one problem. We're broke.
Yeah, and we, for some reason I was thinking we had a cursed belt, we had a flute instead, so, yeah, not anything, plus it wouldn't matter what item we found, because Rimmildar doesn't have a shop, so, a shop that we can sell stuff at, so yeah, that's not going to do our runners any good yet, but it's at least going to open things up a little bit later. It's just a nice little troll.
I will say this much. This might be the record for the quickest usage of the fairy flute in Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament history, because we got golems in this section, and Beta's already used it twice. Look at this. A different town here on Beta's side, and it's, ooh, Cantlin. Good find.
Yeah, with no money. Oh, he's going to sell that herb to get a torch, I bet you.
That seems like a good idea to me. And yep, gonna get 12 gold. Yeah, I can buy that torch. Now, Ryguy, on the other hand, trying to win against this Drakey here, and does get the win for the 3. We need 2 more to go.
It worked well for him because he started swinging at that Drakey, which was low odds, but...
Oh, speaking of low odds, yeah, Beta's getting me sent back to start. 55, bam!
But he did get a critical hit on that Drakey for a mighty 4, leaving him only needing to get 1 more to do that.
Yeah, that really did help Ryguy tremendously there. Yeah, crit, for those who don't know, does anywhere between 50 and 100% of your current attack power. Rounded down, right?
Yes, rounded down.
Okay, so... right now, Beta's looking for something. Ryguy sees a Drakey and can't run away from it. Ooh, Beta going for the torch here on this magician, but gets a low roll of 6. We need 9 to 12 worth of damage here. He's got 7.
Yeah, that magician is the ideal monster to see right now.
Ooh, stop spell would be ideal if it doesn't connect. That's 9. Didn't roll 9.
With that herb, he's probably going to be able to swing through this to the end. It'll be real nice.
10. Well, he sold the herb, remember? But he does get the win and does get the first to level 2 here, which gives 1 power, 4 agility, 4 HP, 8 MP, sleep and radiant. Well, hooray for radiant, but that sleep could be useful later. Probably not so useful right now.
This is the situation now that's the reverse of what we were saying before. Now you're 75% to hit a Drakey, but only 1 out of 3 to hit a Ghost. So the Ghost is actually a worse target now than it was beforehand.
Right, because of the way the attack power algorithm works.
With that slime, if we didn't have sleep here, there would be a good chance that the next best thing for Beta to do here would be to save, go back to Cantland, and turn that gold into 2 more torches.
Very well indeed. Now, Ryguy also getting to level 2. Now, there's that ghost that you were talking about, that now it's not a good thing to get a ghost. Now you want those Drakeys here. But yeah, they're going to have to be grinding on slimes here for some time here. Level 17, or 17 experience points, I beg your pardon, will get you to level 3. So Beta's only a handful points away from doing that.
And we get a second Drakey crit of the day for Ryguy.
Got the max roll on that one too, the 100% damage. And there's another town and a cave next door, but yeah, not happening.
Yeah, I believe he saw that last time right before he died to a Star Wyvern as well. So we will not know. We still don't know what those are. Beta died with the Red Dragon before that other town, so we've found locations, but have no idea what lies therein.
Yep, no shot. No shot. And back attack by a magician. Of course, they've got stop spell, but of course, once they connect, they won't use it again.
I'd really be tempted to sleep a to throw a sleep at that magician and try to swing it down, honestly.
Ooh, that's a miss. One more shot, misses again, and Beta will not get the level here. Ryguy, meanwhile, trying to get back to where he died, gets run over. This time a Metal Slime. Now, Metal Slime, because our strength is low, they will not run away. So Ryguy could get a boon here of 64 points. There's one.
Yeah, this could be absolutely huge for Ryguy.
Yep, there's 2. Oh, no! They have hurt more. Well...
Beta going at this ghost with sleep should know that that's low odds, and I would have expected if he's running you have just as good odds to kill a magician on the same number of swings as you do a ghost with those odds as they are. So the fact that he'd run from a magician but then swing at a ghost was surprising me, but he changed his mind after one wake up.
Yeah, that I'm sure there is some colorful language coming out of Ryguy's mouth after that Metal Slime performed a move like that. Speaking of colorful language, right before he can get to the town, a wizard back attacks him and sends him back home again. And right now, Beta, even though he's not gotten the exploration and he's working on the grind here, Ryguy just not able to get to where he wants to go to figure out where he is. Just every time he's close, he gets stopped.
Yeah, you're kind of seeing right here the difference in style between these two players. Beta really loves to kind of sit down on a grind and get himself at a spot where he can explore the world with no real issues if possible, whereas Ryguy likes to go out and see if he can't get an advantage from exploration. So he sees the town in a cave over here, and it's like a siren song to him.
There we go. Garanam. Now, that'll be nice once we get keys, but again, we are broke right now. Now, let's take a look here.
He can buy 2 herbs now with this cell, though, so that'll help him out.
You mean 2 torches?
That's what I mean, yes.
Yep, gonna buy 2 torches, and that very well could help him out. Now, if Beta can get this Drakey down, that will give him level 3, which he was hoping to get earlier, was not able to do so. And we do have the trading cave. Once we find the silver harp, we'll be able to get the Staff of Rain. But first, we've got Beta, who is going to get level 3 for 1 power, no agility, 3 HP, 10 MP, and heal more. Well, heal more is nice and all. The problem is we only have 31 HP and it costs us 8 MP to use it. But That's something at least.
Yeah, it gives you a chance, again, to go at a magician if you wanted to, but it also gives you a chance if you'd really like or also the extra 1 power now makes you 75% to hit a ghost and guaranteed to hit a Drakey. So you can get to the next level a little faster, and Ryguy gets Drakey crit number 3.
Wow, amazing there. So Ryguy's had some good luck with Drakeys up to this point. Now, Beta, it looks like going to save his game.
My guess is that he's trying to save up money for that first key in Rimeldar, and so now that he knows he's survivable with Heal More, he's going to do that to save up to that 53 to go get that key.
Now here's the gold values here. Slime worth 2, red slime we haven't seen, but they're worth 4, Drakeys 6, ghosts 8, magicians 16. Those are the things that Beta would be able to take down, as Ryguy also picking up level 3 and is going to see the Heal More, but not really much else.
And apparently I am mistaken. I thought that both players had seen Rimeldar, but chat is telling me that Beta has not, so this must be him trying to go out for more torches.
Correct, yeah. Beta has not gone just north and east of Start like Ryguy has. Only Ryguy knows about the town of Rimeldar at this point.
Beta making good use of that sleep to get him to those torches.
Yep, and Beta has made it back to Cantlin. Ryguy sees a Drakey. That will be good for 3 points if he can get it down.
Beta would gladly grind to like level 11 just throwing torches at things. He loves the torch play so much. This seed is really playing to the style of game he likes.
All right, Ryguy gets the Drakey down to put him at 23. Yeah, there's just a town north of Cantlin that we don't know about, as Beta does get that Metal Scorpion to sleep. I'm gonna go for the torches.
I mean, 3 torches is a guaranteed kill for a Metal Scorpion, so as long as it doesn't wake up and throw something at him, he's going to get the next level and get enough experience or gold to buy more torches if necessary.
15, that wasn't enough, but yep, this torch will guarantee him. That's going to be a big 31 points and level 4 for Beta. So there you go, Beta, making good use of those torches there. Level 4 going to give him, there we go, 8 power, 2 agility, and 1 HP, and no MP. And that is Hawksness. Beta wants no part of it at this time.
He's going to go back by some more torches, because while 8 strength sounds like a lot when we start with absolutely garbage, then torches are still more powerful against a whole lot of monsters, including the Metal Scorpion, that I bet he's going to go back out and try to find. However, we also know there's a red dragon hiding in that zone, so we'll see which way it goes.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. So, yeah, it'd be nice if you had Stop Spell against those Metal Scorpions, but yeah, it looks like Ryguy is just going to continue to grind here at Start. And yeah, now Beta, I think he's going to be looking for more Metal Scorpions, because he can get some money, you know, buy the torches back and still have change left over. And we have another town next door if he can get there, and there's that Metal Scorpion.
Yeah, it didn't look like he wanted to stay and hunt for it, probably because he knew there was a red dragon in that zone. But in continuing to go on, he finds both the town and that is either Breckenary or Cole at this point. That's the only 2 towns we have not seen, which is really remarkable this quickly into a seed, especially a sloggy start like this one.
And he's going to run away because he is running out, and Metal Scorpion. And of course, guess what? Oh, they have hurt, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, wow, a low roll on the hurt spell from that Metal Scorpion, and Beta stays alive and does make it to the town of Cole.
Could be a big one right here, depending upon what's on this tile.
All right, what do we have? Anything, or is it a nothing burger? It is the tease. You see the word Erdrix, you get excited, and you're hoping it's going to be something that's going to help you in the short term. Instead, Erdrix token. Yes, you do need it to get the rainbow drop from the Jerk Cave, but you were hoping, of course, for something else. Beta gets the gold in that chest here, more gold here in Garen's Grave, and the last chest has wings. And he's probably going to be sent home by this Metal Scorpion. But yeah, Beta getting through the first 3 chests of the grave here.
He's trying to get back out with that gold so that he can go back to Cole and see what's for sale.
But forget it.
This must be that same zone that was right outside of Cantlin.
Yep. Now, while Beta was doing all of that, Ryguy was able to grind enough gold to buy a key at Rimmildar, so now he could save his game and check the treasury.
And unfortunately for Beta, he has now got gold, so he's going to head right back to those places and not see Rimmildar that's sitting just northeast of him.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but that's the nature of the game sometimes, is Ryguy taking the intentional. By the way, Wraith Knights do have baby breath. And now Ryguy getting sent back, and just before he makes it back to town, Red Dragon, the Fun Police, gonna reset. Good thing he saved this game, but that has got to be frustrating. One step away from town, stopped by the Fun Police, that's where your fun stops.
All right, now we get to see what's in this amazing treasury. Well, there's gold, effectively.
Yep.
Fairy water herb. And wings. So unless there's something behind here, it's not worth a whole lot.
Yeah, that is one of the most whelming treasuries I've seen in quite some time. That is I am whelmed at the Tantagel treasury tonight.
Yes, it is quite whelming.
That's true that there could be gold in the basement. There could be an old man as well. We haven't seen the freebie cave, haven't seen the jerk cave. They very well could be here in Tantagel Castle. Yeah, if Ryguy continues to go northwest, he'll find Garenham. He could peek in that treasury.
Yeah, he's found that one, so he's gonna go there, and then we'll see where he goes from that point. It's only Beta that's seen Cantland at this point, so he's not going to think about coordinates.
Green Dragon leaves him with 1 HP, but not able to run away from 21 agility, just resets. Yeah, we're at level 4, and these stats are pathetic.
Beta, again, having to make excellent use of sleep just to get to Cantland.
I think it's back attack by the Metal Scorpion. Again, they have hurt, so that's better than an attack. And Ryguy getting the crit on that Magician for 8 points. So it's a 4 experience point game right now. This would tie it up for Ryguy if he can get this ghost down. Large shield is on offer. Copper sword is what Beta is going to purchase here at Cantland.
And he's probably going to go to this bottom shop, see if there's anything to buy, or he still has enough money for the hand axe. If that pops up, he can buy it back and sell the copper sword.
Werewolves, one of our Sharlock enemies, has DL2 breath. Chainmail is what Beta's going to buy here to increase his defense.
And now I imagine he'll... Oh no, I thought he might buy some more items, but he has opted against that.
It's back attacked by a Spectre. And I would imagine Beta will... No, it's a cut and a miss on that sleep spell. Going to try it again. This time gets it to sleep. And going to use the heal more. And it stays sleeping and going for the torch. Spectre would be a nice get. 25 to 33 HP would give him 47 experience. Got a 9, got an 8. That's 17.
And while that's happening, I'll note we just saw a hurt from the golem, so that may turn out to be very nice for us later.
31, and Beta gets to 47 points. That is going to be level 5 for Beta. Nice kill using those torches. 10 big power, 5 agility, 1 HP, and 15 big MP, as Ryguy is now in Garenham.
And Beta's going to head back to Cantland, and I assume going to load up on fairy water, which will help him kill those monsters even faster.
Absolutely. So in the treasury here in Garenham, there is a key refund, another key, and we've got a nice NPC block. The third chest has the silver harp. We saw the trade-in cave earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse Rimmildar there, the 1 for 2.
Yeah, 1 for 2, and there's your freebie cave. So no gold grind in the basement, but we do have
still be a mountain in the basement. Or tablet.
How about the jerk? Give me jerk. All right, and now with the silver harp in hand, it's just a stone's throw away to get that staff of rain from the trading cave.
Yeah, that's very convenient placement of those two locations, or of the harp and then that.
All right, and Beta has exactly enough cash to buy 2 fairy waters, so Beta will be leaving and moving on. There's a cave on Rygai's side. Got to try to put the wolf to sleep, which he does successfully, and will be able to run away from successfully. We've got 2 caves. I want them to be swamp cave, both. That's what I want. Oh, but Rygai can't run away from this metal scorpion.
He
Does
has...
get to the cave. Oh, it's swamp south. He's thinking the same thing. And we have another cave next door. But unfortunately, the fun police is going to stop us from finding out if they're the time being.
Oh, that's disappointing.
That's called the game knows. Whenever the commentators want to see something, game doesn't provide. Yeah, this overworld's been full of fun police. They are on full force tonight's duty here. That's for sure.
Oh, we're about to find what's underneath the castle and find out. Now that Rygai got that 1 for 2, he has the extra key to go check what's below here, and so we'll see if it's tablet or mountain, which leaves the opportunity of a gold grind open, or if it is the jerk or the other side of swamp. It is the mountain.
It is. So yeah, the gold grind could exist here potentially. 5 chests here. We'll see if Rygai is able to get anything done. Oh, a back attack from a rogue scorpion. That's no bueno. Gonna try to run or put it to sleep. Gonna try to put it to sleep. Will it work? Yes.
Yeah, rogue scorpions are 7 out of 16 sleep resist, but at 21 agility, you're still better off doing that than attempting to run.
I agree with that. And Wolf goes down for Beta, continuing to use those resources to good use. Fairy water for Rygai at 6 power, 6 agility, 0 HP, and another big 15 MP. And now Rygai gonna go for the fairy water starts. It's a nice roll, 14, a one-shot kill on that metal scorpion for 31 big points. That'll give him level 5.
Yeah, very convenient timing to pick up a fairy water.
Yes, indeed. So there's chest number 2. That's gold. That's nice for Rygai, because remember, he knows where Rimbledar is. That's easy keys.
We've got gold and an herb in chests 3 and 4, so more grindable stuff.
And Beta now knows about the bad news that metal slimes have hurt more, and that's going to send him back to start.
I feel like for Beta, that's very good news, given how long this has taken. He can imagine, especially like as much as Rygai likes to explore, how likely he was to find that metal slime, and to know that, oh, it's not going to lose that, then...
Okay, Rygai cleared the mountain cave. Cursed Bell, they'll be able to sell that for 180 gold, and it tells us that at least one of the 3 search tiles are in play. We've already seen that there was an item in coal, that was Erdrick's token. You also potentially could have coordinates, and of course you potentially could have something in Hawk's Nest. And yeah, Rygai got lucky because Red Dragon, and that'll send him back. So gets through the mountain cave on the first go. Yeah, but Rygai with that newly acquired cash can max out on keys here. Yeah, Beta did buy a small shield as well, so yeah, he's got some nice gear in this early stages of the game here. As we got a skeleton now on Rygai's side. Skeletons, 18 to 24 HP for 25 experience. Hey, Beta, more than double the experience that Rygai has right now. As Rygai gets dodged by a skeleton. That's very annoying, but they are kind of dodgy. It's a 1 in 16 chance that you do get dodged. Another dodge there. Rygai having some problems here against the skeleton. Meanwhile, Beta getting this wolf to sleep and gets another 40 points, getting a couple more of those, and he'll be at level 7.
Rygai not using sleep on these skeletons is kind of surprising to me, that he's just opting to swing instead. I mean, he's going through a heal more. He's been dodged multiple times already. It's a much more efficient use of your time, I think, to throw a sleep out there.
Beta getting a Warlock down, which also has baby breath. Beta finds another wolf. This will put him a dozen points away from the level should Beta be successful. One-term sleep is never fun.
Yeah, the thing with the wolves is that they also have sleep, so it all depends on who lands and who gets to land and who gets to stay.
That is true. Beta gets it down, another 40 points. Ryguy heading back to Rimuldar. Beta, on the other hand, has for the first time gotten to Rimuldar and is probably thinking to himself, how long did it take Ryguy to get keys? Well, pretty quick.
Yeah,
Well, it's not really going to hurt him much.
He actually saw this just a minute ago, but he only had 48 gold, so he went out and grinded a little while to find the rest of it, and now he's going to get those keys and be very happy with what he sees. We have not seen what's actually in the Rimuldar chest yet. I believe Ryguy is about to show us that, as is Beta.
You're right about that. Yeah, Ryguy will be the first to find what is in our 2-for-1 special here. It is a refund on your keys. Gold.
That could have also been very big early on. I mean, I guess you had to get to 100 gold first to get in there.
Half plate? No half plate. He's got chainmail to buy. He could buy chainmail, and that's probably what he's going to do. Yep.
Yeah, no weapon there is unfortunate for Ryguy.
Yep, it's defense, and that's it. It's a very defensive town. All right, Beta and Ryguy with simultaneous Druid fights here. Beta gets it down first for 14 points. That's good enough for level 7. And we've got 14 power, no agility, 1 HP, 3 MP, and just a bit outside.
So where the strength is making its way up there, the HP is not. We're not quite at glass cannon range because we started so low, but we are definitely kind of hoping more for the HP growth right now than the strength growth.
Ryguy getting run blocked by a gold man, and that's going to send him back. There's our first appearance of the blue dragon, and they have baby breath. Beta is just going to be like, you know what? I give up. He'll go ahead and get sent back to start.
Looks to me like we saw a silver shield and magic armor in Rimuldar, I believe. Ryguy is going to set up the gold grind now to go get those. So he will not have a weapon because Rimuldar has no weapons, although he might grind for that and go and check and see what was in Garanham. I missed if there was anything in Garanham or if he checked the shop.
Garanham had the silver harp. Ryguy had gotten that, remember?
No, I mean the weapon shop.
Oh, yeah, he didn't check that shop. I gotcha. Yeah, Ryguy got to fill up on keys again. Beta, I think, going to do likewise with his 390 gold. He can purchase 4 keys. Yeah, Ryguy trying to get to that chest. Then gets back attacked by a rogue scorpion.
Did Beta open the treasury chests?
I don't know if he did or not, but Ryguy was able to get the rogue scorpion to sleep, only to run into the park ranger and getting back attacked by said park ranger and gonna get sent home by park ranger who also has hurt more.
All right, well, chat is saying that he did check the treasury, so he will have the immediate gold grind set up when he gets here, or when he gets down here. And he, again, has also seen the Rimuldar shop, so he will be able to do his grind immediately for that as well.
Yeah, but getting there is half the fun. I mean, Ryguy had a nice hero walk to get to all 5 chests his first time around, but second time around, no such luck.
Yeah, it's gonna get through. Getting through that floor too is it is hiding red dragons in there. He managed to avoid all of them. We'll see if Beta has similar fortune or not.
And again, Ryguy getting stopped by a green dragon on 32 agility. Yeah, good luck. He's sent home again. Beta so far so good. We'll see if he's able to get there. As he get a Haishino Ichigeki. Beta getting the crit on the Druid Lord. Another 58 points, 145 away from level 8. And Beta gonna get the fairy water. And can he get to those other chests?
I'm not sure where we are with 32 agility in terms of run odds from the Green Dragon, but you are 50-50 to sleep them.
There you go.
So I wonder if it might be better to try to sleep the Green Dragon than just to run.
I mean, it's a possibility. The resistance for green dragons is about the same as you saw on the Rogue Scorpion, about a coin flip.
Interesting decision here for Beta. He's only got the second chest here, but it is the gold that he wants. We'll see what he decides to do with it. Is he going to grind it and then try to finish the rest of the floor? He knows there's red dragons hiding in this zone because he saw them in the grave. So I do wonder if he's just going to get this immediately outside and then come back afterwards once he has all the gear he's looking for.
My guess is he's gonna gold for double the amount of the silver shield cost in case he fails this dive. I would think that would make the most sense. Because anytime you take a death, you do lose half of the gold that is currently in your possession at that point.
Yeah, and Ryan making a point that there's possibly he might go all the way to 34k because we do have Cantlin and we have a shop we have not seen yet in Cantlin.
And it could have a flame sword, and it could have your magic armor as well. So, you know, he could be grinding all the way. And Ryguy finally makes it back to the chest. So now he's going to go ahead and collect some gold. We'll see how far he decides to go.
Of note, Ryguy does not have outside while Beta does. So Beta can get that money out of here safely.
Yeah, so Ryguy could continue to go, but Beta's going to continue to go. He's at 37 and more now.
So he definitely is thinking, I'm going to try to finish this cave while I'm here. And so we'll see what he's thinking. Is he going to go for the full 65?
Yeah, there is a cap because of the old bit byte rules back in the old days. You know how 255 was your maximum rupees in Zelda? Well, 65,535 is your maximum gold. Now, he does not go to 65,535. And look at that. Immediately runs to the fun police, catches him stealing the gold, and is going to send him back.
That's going to leave him with enough to still buy the magic armor and the silver shield.
But I understand what Beta was doing. He wanted to grind the extra, wanted to try to complete the mountain cave, wasn't able to do it. I mean, little does he know that there's really not much here in Mountain Cave. Ryguy continuing at 32,000, 33,000, 34,000. We'll see if he decides to go for all 65,000.
Yeah, he's definitely got to go check that area out, or he's got to double, or think about doubling at least to some extent, because again, not having outside, he's got to walk out. Beta wanted to do it because he wanted to kind of hedge his bets, try to clear the mountain cave, and still have the money he needed if he didn't clear the mountain cave to be able to get the magic armor and the silver shield.
There you go. Such a heads-up play right there. He calculated exactly the number of gold he needed times 2 to get everything he needed out of Rimuldar. Very smart play there for Beta. Meanwhile, Ryguy stops at 50,000 gold.
So it's basically the same thought process. Is he's going to get the magic armor and the silver shield. He got enough money so that if he dies on his way out, he won't get it. But if he doesn't die on his way out, then he'll have flame sword money. Actually, he'll have like double flame sword money to allow him to go to these other towns and check them out for the flame sword and still have the money even if he dies.
Well, he gets back attacked by a Druid Lord, and now getting run blocked by a Druid Lord, and he's going to have to use that heal more. Yep, you don't want to be losing your gold now. It's double run blocked by a Druid Lord. That doesn't look like they have anything nasty. If they do, it's 25%. And Ryguy gets away on the third try. You can use that last herb, trying to get back. Does make it back successfully. And now he's not going to save his game. He's going to try to make it. No, now he's going to save it. I think that's smart.
Yeah, just figuring the walk out and walk back in is slightly faster to get to the king than walking around.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Yeah, there's just a quicker way to get there. Beta getting a wolf down. That wolf is going to give Beta level 8 now. Level 8. No power, 4 agility, 2 HP, 6 MP. Well, that was a level.
The thing is, with all this armor he's got now, that area, that zone he saw a few minutes ago that had wyverns and what was the other one? Specters, becomes a real nice zone at this point.
And Ryguy makes it with all 50,000 gold intact. We'll go ahead and buy the magic armor first, and then he'll be able to buy the silver shield. Magic armor, you heal 1 HP every 4 steps you take, and you take 1/3 reduced damage to the Hurt and Hurt More spells. And Ryguy, that's just a slime. He's fine with that. Is going to try to go to Garanham, and we'll see if we do have a weapon he could buy.
Beta again wisely casting Sleep on that Star Wyvern because odds to run are slightly worse than odds to land Sleep on a Star Wyvern at this point in time.
You're right about that. Ryguy continuing to have problems with skeletons here with the dodges here, but does get it down for the 25 points. But Beta over 400 experience points ahead of Ryguy at this juncture. We're at the 34-minute mark in this race. Can Ryguy get to the town? Yep, he has made it back to Garanham.
Again, I don't think we've actually seen the shop in Garanham as of this moment, so we'll see if we find it, or if it has anything good for Ryguy. We know at least the 2 non-keylock shop had nothing better than a hand axe.
Right, the town of Cantland. So, yeah, we'll see. Ryguy gonna stock up on herbs. And then go ahead and buy a dragon scale. Once he puts that on, he'll get an additional 2 defensive points. Beta did the same thing earlier. Now both runners have equipped the dragon scale. Do we have anything nice here in the Garanham shop? No. Another defensive town here there, Tilo.
Yeah, definitely trying to help you on the defense, but also help you make good use of all the resources you can to get stuff down. He don't want you having an easy time clearing this map.
No shot. And speaking of no shot, this wizard could cost Ryguy half of his gold.
Beta swings on a Spectre, it dodges. Spectre swings on Beta. Beta does no damage to Beta, so having a fun little back and forth here.
Yeah, you'll love to see that. Ryguy getting run blocked again by the Wizards, going to lose half of his gold. Again, still has enough money to buy that flame sword, but that's got to annoy him. I think he's going to save. Yep.
So Beta sees the hurt on the golem now as well. Obviously, with 55 attack power, you're not going to try to take this down. It would be a very, very long adventure if you attempted to, and he can one-shot you no matter what you do. So obviously not a good idea to take out, but it is definitely a good idea for later, and we've now seen hurt twice on those golems, so it's got to be at least 50%, one would think.
You're right about that. Meanwhile, Beta with the 601 gold, I think is going to buy that hand axe, but it's not in that shop. Try again.
He does see the broadsword there, though, so if he ever wants to upgrade beyond this hand axe without the sword, he can do that, but I imagine he'll sit with his hand axe for a while.
Yeah, definitely indeed. Ryguy could, of course, easily buy that broadsword if it turns out that that third shop does not have a flame sword. Beta looks like he's going to go for the count here. Got to be careful because you do lose 15 HP every time you step on one of those barrier tiles. You are only protected if you have Erdrick's armor.
It's nice that we have Healmore and MP because we have to cast Healmore every 2 steps.
All right, let's take a look and see if we've got coordinates tonight. Yes, we do. 12 north, 53 west. Looks like they might be countable, but we will see.
I think that's just a little west from Cantlin, actually.
Yeah, that would be very nice, as Beta will take the intentional death, and he might be going for that count right now. Ryguy, with a Wolf Lord to contend with, is going to try to win this fight. Wolf Lords have 28 to 37 HP, 52 experience if you're successful. It does look like Beta is counting right now. No, not there.
He did a north-south count, and he just kind of eyeballed where he thinks we are west-wise. Now he's going to go search this line.
All right, so Bright Guy's still working on this Wolf Lord here using an herb. Nice swing and takes it down for the 52 points. That is going to put him 40 points away from the next level. And Ryguy opting not to see if there is a flame sword, and I guess is going to continue the grind.
And Beta's actually going to grind this death necklace up to 1500 so he can get that broadsword. And no. I don't know what that number was for.
I have no idea what that number was for either. I mean, buying enough fairy waters, maybe? I have no idea. So the death necklace is worth, like, what, between 100 and 130 golds each?
Something like that, 130 to 100 to 131, I think. But yeah, it's a small amount, but you could do it a few times if you ever need cash suddenly.
This is where Ryguy died. Now we're gonna see on Beta's side if this connects to Swamp. Come on, it's gotta be, right? Yes. Troll Cave, Swamp South, Swamp North. What's in the third cave? That's Tablet.
It's actually even the paradoxical one where Swamp North is south of Swamp South.
Yep. You love to see it. So Tablet's got one free chest, and luckily we've got the Permatorch. That means the Radiant spell is completely useless. If we didn't have the Permatorch and you didn't know how to navigate the tablet, that's when you'd see runners use the Radiant. Inside the chest, we've got a torch. Go figure. So level 7 has been picked up by Ryguy. Sees the nice power boost.
And it looks like he wants to keep grinding. I mean, you've got this nice zone with the Wolf Lords and the Wolves, so, you know, might as well get another level here now that you can actually do real damage to them.
Well, Metal Scorpions do have heal. We hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah, the nice thing is, with kind of the range we're attacking at, that after they heal, our next swing is probably not going to put them into heal range, and then the next swing's going to kill them.
Well, the next enemy is going to put Beta into a barbecue range because it's the fun police again. Got away on 36 agility.
Survived a hit at 36 HP. That was quite the achievement.
Oh, but now he runs into the deputy and is having the same... Well, they got stop spell. But unfortunately, it connected, so they do have baby breath to go with it. And does run away. So Beta's still in the game here as he'll go south. Druin down for Ryguy. He continues his grind, sees the Axe Knight, is able to escape.
So at this point, what has Beta not seen? I want to say the Jerk and Reckonary and Charlock?
You're right. As Beta gets back attacked by a blue. And now he won't be able to use that heal more. And there's another failed run. And gets away again. So Beta again stays alive here in the overworld. So far, it's been rough, but he's made it. But that's just a dead end right there. A big nothing burger on Beta's side. Ryguy is going to get put to sleep here by this wolf. A swing and a miss. Luckily, we're defense breaking wolves at this juncture. So even if you get put to sleep, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just an annoyance.
And answer the question in chat. Ryguy has seen 2 towns up to this point, and they both have no weapons. So he's grinding right now so he can survive to get to another potential shop that will have weapons while with that money, but he has no place that he knows of at the moment to spend the money.
That is correct, as Beta is now going to go north of the Tri-Caves here. And nothing here, so he's going to have to go back east, it looks like. Ryguy is going up against a Wraith Knight here, and Wraith Knight's 30 to 40 HP needed, and Ryguy gets the kill for a huge 72 points. He's closing the gap a little bit on the experience as he just picked up level 8, but Ryguy closing in, or I beg your pardon, Beta Strap closing in on 975 points, which is what will give him level 9. I said Beta Sleep because he got slept on by that wolf. Go figure. But does get the wolf down. But Wizard, on the other hand, these wizards have been tough on these runners, and Beta is going to get sent home again.
I guess it doesn't matter at this point, but I mean, maybe it was because he was low on resources, but that Death Necklace spot was like 12 tiles from Cantlin, and he was at like 800 gold, so a few more searches, he could have gotten that broadsword and never had to think about weapons again. So I was wondering if he would do that, but he opted against it, but maybe he wasn't sure he could get to Cantlin, and if that was his guess, he was correct.
And another crit for Ryguy. He certainly had plenty of those tonight. Got it on the wolf floor to take it down. Ryguy unfortunately saw that the stop spell connected and does not want to continue the fight, so he'll go ahead and heal more. Beta taking on another wolf. He gets one more wolf down. That would give him level 9. He finds a wolf.
Here it is.
Yep, just what the doctor ordered. Ryguy's got a wolf lord to contend with. It would give him 52 points, and there you go. Beta's got level 9 now, and that is going to give him 4 power, no agility, 5 HP, and 13 more MP. So now we're rocking 70 MP. So that number is looking pretty good. Everything else, not so good.
Yeah, definitely non-ideal at this point to only have 41, but 41 is a whole lot better than the, what was it, 36 they have. The 5 HP generally will give you, you know, will potentially allow you to run one more time from a number of monsters. Like that blue dragon, for example, you could potentially eat 2 baby breaths now after it lands the stop spell, and if you can run first try, then that gives you a guaranteed run. So little things like that, you are going to be able to survive out to a mercy rule from pretty much anything that isn't of the Knight, or X-Knight, or Red Dragon variety.
Yep. Another crit for Ryguy on the wolf on the first attack. Now we've got an Axe Knight. Good luck trying to run away from this. And Beta has one more shot. Nope, he's sent back.
Right as I say it, the Axe actually. Now I don't know if it's a difference in zone there or not, but Ryguy I don't think has seen an Axe Knight in this whole time he's been grinding this zone.
He has. He has.
Oh, has he? Okay, never mind. I have just not seen the Axe Knight.
Yeah, he's not seen many, but he has seen them. He knows they're there. So now he's back at Rimuldar, and it will heal up at the inn and do it all over again. I imagine he's going to keep on grinding. Beta seeing more wolves. Gotta get to 1,500 points to get to level 10, and then now he sees another Axe Knight as Ryguy. And this one might send him home. One more shot. He's going to use the heal more, not going to take any shots. Does manage to escape on that attempt. Keeping all that gold intact. Hurt more would be nice. Of course, a weapon would be nice. The Rise guy's just going to keep on grinding here. There's a Demon Knight on Beta, and they have Stop Spell as well, and they do connect, so Beta's going to have to hope he can hit because they are extra mega dodging. Oh, Fairy Water strats to finish off the Demon Knight, gets the max roll, gets the kill for 90 points.
Demon Knight can't dodge a torch or a Fairy Water, so that's a very, very heads-up play, and there is nothing I think Beta enjoys more than throwing a non-dodgeable attack at a Demon Knight, as his dislike for them and their dodginess is very well advertised.
Most definitely, indeed. I mean, Beta, there's a reason why he's made it to the semifinals here. He's been making heads-up plays like this all tournament. I mean, I've said this before, Tilo, but Beta's run reminds me of your run in 2021. I mean, you had one long shot situation happen, and you were able to parlay that into a championship. Unfortunately for Beta, can't get away from the Green Dragon, gets hurt more on, and is sent back.
That was definitely an ambitious attempt. I think he may have thought he was a little stronger than he was, which is what that check of stats was for.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. You know, Beta didn't really have much to lose there. I mean, it's not like there's anything he could buy up to this point except maybe a broadsword. Again, we don't even know if there's a flame sword. We have not seen Breckenary. I mean, Breckenary could have that flame sword for all we know. I mean, I know these runners don't want to find it, but there's a possibility that flame sword's in Breckenary and only Breckenary.
Have we looked at the coal shop at this point? I don't don't remember. I think Beta just walked right through Cole at that point in time because he had no money, and then he wasn't able to bring the money from the grave back. So
Raigai has not even found it. And Raigai's not even found it yet.
That's just a little north of the Cantlin Hawksness grouping.
Yep,
so
correct.
If he can find Cantlin, he can get a broadsword, and then we can try to stretch it out to something bigger.
And Raigai back to Rimuldar to heal up again at the inn. Beta going for this Rogue Scorpion worth 70 points if he's successful, and there you go.
Raigai's going to venture off in this eastern area that Beta was dealing with earlier.
And more of these green dragons here and more run fails on 36 agility. I mean, they don't really have too much of a chance, but Raigai does escape on that try.
Now, did he save his game before wandering out here?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he's now saying, I'm willing to sacrifice this money because I'm sick of sitting in this zone, holding on to this gold for dear life.
Yeah, I mean, right now the best he could do right now is find, Breckenary, and it happens to have it. Uh-oh, back attack by a metal slime. We know that they have hurt more. Now, with the magic armor, he won't take nearly as much damage. Going to put it to sleep and then gets a hit on it. Wow, he got it to sleep? He got it to sleep? Well, he only got one hit, unfortunately. And there's that hurt more blast right there. Now, of course, there's always that opportunity that metal slimes seem to be pretty resistant. He's got 2 metal slime hits.
Sleep resist on metal slimes is 1 out of 16, so he just 1 out of 256 this.
Oh, shot. Yep, that, and now it runs away. Yep, there you go. There you go. He just a 1 in 256, just like you said there, Tilo. That is
amazing.
Crazy.
Oh, and then gets killed by a Droll Magi bringing baby breath.
Yep, and then can't run away from a Droll Magi. Go figure.
Well, there goes our flame sword money.
Yuppers. There's that dodginess from those skeletons again, but meanwhile, Beta getting level 10, another Rogue Scorpion down, no power, 1 agility. There we go, 15 HP, 5 MP, and repel.
Yeah, that 15 HP is pretty nice. It's not gonna help him survive the Red Dragon, but it looks like he's not interested in going to that second floor right now anyway. He likes the Druid Lord he saw, he likes the Rogue Scorpion he saw. I know there's green dragons in here that he probably doesn't want to deal with, but he's got the HP to work with.
Crit. I don't know how many Raigai crits we've got on the board, but he's definitely leading Beta in that category tonight.
Yes, indeed.
There's another wolf. There's another Rogue Scorpion. I mean, the Beta's just had the more efficient grind, the ones that have been more valuable than what Raigai has. You know, Beta keeps this up. You know, Beta could well be punching his ticket to the Grand Championship here.
So to answer the question in chat, why wouldn't Raigai save before exploring? Does he feel behind? It's more to do with the fact that if you don't know that there's a weapon out there, there's no guarantee there's even a flame sword out there. So trying to hold on to gold in hopes of getting somewhere and making decisions that will decrease your XP gain and cost you more time tends to be non-favored. If he knew where Cantlin was, I could see him, saving before going to that specific location. But just to explore the world broadly, you generally need to be willing to part with your gold if you're going to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. If Beta wins tonight, he moves on to the Grand Championship and will take on Cherno in that finals. And this, of course, regardless of who wins between Beta and Raigai, this will be their first summer finals.
Yeah, 2 players who have been in this thing for a long time. One of them will go to the finals, and they will be playing Cherno, who this is his first tournament. So it's kind of the grizzled vets versus the rookie. It's going to be a really interesting, very interesting side by side. But before we get to that point, we got to get through this.
Yeah, I must say that Cherno's gameplay through his very first tournament here has looked very impressive. Quite possibly the best rookie we have ever seen in the circuit. Yeah, Beta can out heal more Red Dragon to run away, because you run away 3 times and you fail, you do guarantee yourself running away on the 4th attempt. Unfortunately, Beta out of resources becomes a moot point. Back to start he goes.
And Beta decides he doesn't want to go back to the top floor to grind, so he's going to go wander off elsewhere. I wonder, it might be worth considering. No, I guess not. I was thinking it might be worth considering checking and seeing what's on the Hawksness spike tile. I mean, if it's a Stone Man, you've got the resources with sleep to take it down. If it's a golem that has hurt, you've got the resources to take it down very, very slowly. It's not ideal, but it is a thing that you could accomplish. Even if it's an Axe Knight, you have enough HP to kind of go back and forth, and if it's an Axe Knight, you could pick up Fairy Waters and throw them at it too, because they'll go down to a few of those. So I really wonder if...
Whoa! Beta getting the Haishino Shigeki on a Green Dragon, a huge kill for 135 points there, Tilo.
Yeah, that's very, very fortunate, because those green dragons are a little obnoxious, and so being able to get through that without having to spend any resources is very, very nice. So while Ryguy's had all the crits, Beta had probably the most valuable one up to this point.
Absolutely, he did there. That was huge for Beta to further extend that lead. Now let's see if he can do it on a Metal Slime. Well, he may not get the chance if they start with a Hurt More. Nope.
The nice thing for both of our players is they have the magic armor now, which reduces the hurt more damage by a third. So they can now, most of the time, survive 2 hurt mores in dealing with that metal slime. So they can still give it a shot. It's just kind of slow.
Now Beta's scouting the Star Wyverns, only swinging for mid to high single digits here. So, I mean, could he possibly win a damage race against this? I think he could. Star Wyverns have 56 to 74 HP, so yeah, I think he could win a damage race against one of these, provided that they don't have anything nasty on the back. It's a nice swing of 11 there.
Yeah, I think Beta came out here to kind of get the Wyverns and Spectres, and I think the zone may be a little more polluted than he thought, but he's here, he's close to level 11, and so probably it's just like, well, faster than going back somewhere else I was. I often say the grind you have is better than the grind you don't, and right here he's got this grind, so he's going to go at it probably to level 11, or maybe he'll abandon it here and continue moving on, but fortunately he has a resource refill coming in very, very soon.
Yep, if he can finish this fight here, which he should be very close to, and there it is. So that's another 105 points. Ryguy runs into a Star Wyvern now. I'm trying to put it to sleep. Does manage to put it to sleep. Should be able to run away from it, which he does. And yep, Beta does make it back to Garanham and will rest at the end. This time, Ryguy not so lucky to get the Star Wyvern to sleep. That's a miss. Back-to-back misses, and that is not going to send him back to start just yet.
Yeah, that's where that little extra HP really comes in handy.
And back-to-back-to-back misses for Ryguy. That is absolutely crazy.
With this total, I think I probably think about trying to run instead.
Back-to-back-to-back-to-back misses now. Back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back misses, and Ryguy's still alive.
I think he feels like he's pot committed right now.
He does feel that he's pot committed. Is it back-to-back-to-back? Back-to-back-to-back? Yes, it is. 6 in a row for Ryguy. This is definitely Ryguy luck if I've ever seen it before here, Tilo. Do I hear 7 in a row? 7 in a row.
This is still more likely than the 2 sleep in a row that he landed on the metal slime. So
oh my goodness gracious!
From that.
Octuple! And he's out of magic and he runs away. After all of that, he runs away on the first try. Octuple sleep fail, and he runs away on the first try this game, and then he gets back attacked by into a Hurt More Metal Slime. It's like the game knows.
Meanwhile, Beta just took down a wizard, and he's taking down another one. This one will get him to level 11, and we'll see what that accomplishes for him.
And it's a 50-50. It's literally a 50-50. He lost 8 in a row. So you know that 256, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Same odds. 1 in 256 that would happen to Ryguy. Octuple sleep fail in a row. Same odds.
What that's telling me is he just needs to go and throw Hurtmores at the Dragon Lord, not worry about his strength.
Right. There it is. Beta just got the wizard down. That's good enough for level 11 with just a little bit of resources left to spare. 1 power, 1 agility, 4 HP, 7 MP. Yay.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you're hoping for.
And Beta was 5 golds away from broadsword money. Now he's going to be a lot further away than that.
And I'll see what decision he decides to make here, if he goes back to that same zone to try to deal with those wizards, or if he tries to go somewhere else. Again, I think at this point, I would try Hawksness. I don't know if that's the right decision or not, but I would at least give it a shot. You can take out an Axe Knight, you can take out a Stone Man slowly, you can take out a Golem very slowly. I would give it a shot.
Oh, okay. So Ryguy still had enough money. He's going to go ahead and buy that broadsword. That's definitely going to help his attack power right there. Beta, meanwhile, is going to head to Hawksness here and see what's on the tile here. And we have got, oh dear, it's a red dragon. I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah, that one's not the one that you're going to be able to just slowly whittle down.
Yeah, this seed has been pretty generous in the amount of fun police we've seen throughout this overworld. They are just scattered all over the place. Red Dragons have had their way, and you see that the deaths are piling up here. That's 17 right now on Ryguy. It looks like 15 at the moment on Beta's side. The deaths have just been absolutely crazy up to this point. 13 deaths on Beta's side, so that's 30 overall.
Yeah, it's just so tough because they know where almost everything is at this point. They've got like item-wise, they found everything that can have items. And so all they're missing is the Jerk and the Jerk, Breckenary, and Charlock. And
Correct.
So, it's mostly a grind situation at this point, and yet, because the way the world is, it's so hard to even find a good way to get this experience. You would think, okay, we've still got key items to find. There's still a sword and an armor out there that could help you out. But to get to them, you're going to have to go through a red dragon, or at least a red dragon zone, as the Deep Grave is, the Deep Grave and Hawks's, I think, is all we have outstanding collectively.
Deep Grave's going to have something. I can almost assure you of that. And Ryguy gets roasted by the DL2 breath of that werewolf. As Beta, again, going to try to get this Star Wyvern down. Still has a few more HP left to go to get the win here. And there it still isn't, but he's getting close. Ryguy heading back to the west here, and Star Wyvern still not down. Ryguy's doing the count to get that Death Necklace. Right now, to me, it doesn't look like Death Necklace is in play. For those of you who don't know, the Death Necklace will give you an additional 10 attack power points as Beta gets the Star Wyvern down, but it will cost you 25% of your maximum HP. So you really want to have over 130 HP to really make good use of that Death Necklace. And right now, at level 11, only rocking 60 HP. Unless we get a real massive boon of HP, I really do not see this Death Necklace being in play tonight.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that we still have what's going to be roughly 40 strength we still need to get before we're going to get being going. I mean, obviously things, flip, flop, are contingent on all the other stats, but generally speaking, think of 130 as a benchmark.
For the second time, Beta gets a crit on a green dragon to get another 135 points, and they have hurt more.
Yeah, he was going slow enough at that I was wondering if he was going to be able to get it down on his resources. And so he just said, well, who needs resources?
Now, Ryguy's back in these tri-caves. Remember, he had seen Swamp South and then they got killed here, so I don't think he knows about these other 2 caves still. No, not quite. That's a droll, which he'll go ahead and take down easily. No problem there. He's going to see that Tablet Cave is here. Beta with a Metal Slime. He's got 1. Remember that they do have Hurt More, and there you just saw it right there. And they cast it again. So again, it's 25 or 50 at this point. And no dice. Beta does not get the 255. Ryguy gets the torch and casts outside. Now he'll see this other cave, and he's going to see it Swamp North. And yeah, Beta's decided he wants to grind in this area that's got these green dragons and these star wyverns. There it is. Ryguy sees Swamp North.
Probably cackling quite substantially to himself.
I would imagine so. Beta getting back attacked big time by this golem here. Ryguy getting that magic Drakey down, but he's almost 1,000 experience points behind Beta at this point. Yeah, we haven't found the stones. Stones could be in Hawksness. Likely, they're probably in Deep Grave. It's a 2 in 3 chance at this point. And we still haven't found the Jerk. We still have not found Sharlock. We still have not found Breckenary.
Beta taking the very, very adventurous, let's take down this golem. It's going to be slow going, but he can do it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be 350 if he's successful.
With it waking up with hurt, you have turns, although it doesn't seem to be quite as hurty as we were hoping.
Probably 25%. Which is unfortunate because you want to see them be happy to use hurt. It doesn't look like they're happy to use hurt. And the problem is he keeps, there's what Beta was looking for.
I think from this point, I'd probably guess it's 50 hurt, because we saw a lot of hurt early, and then we've seen a lot more swings later, so I think it just kind of averages out, is what I'm guessing. Sure. The real question is there a heal more hiding behind that hurt?
Another 1 turn sleep there. Yeah, that's the thing that you kind of worry about, is that do they have a hidden hurt, heal more, or heal behind all of that HP, because they have anywhere between 115 and 153 HP. Another quick wake up on this golem here is Ryguy having some problems running away from this Axe Knight here. Gonna have to use the heal more. As Beta once again uses the Fairy Flute, is hoping for more than just a 1 turn sleep. There you go. That's 9 more, but it's only a 2 turn. But luckily it does use the hurt spell. Ryguy able to escape from the Axe Knight. Find Sharlock, our first one to find Sharlock.
That's just north of here, right? Just north of Garenham, right?
I think you're right. And another 2 turn sleep wake up on this golem, but again, now they're starting to use hurt quite a bit. So yeah, it is starting to look like it's at least 50%. And Ryguy has, there you go, Jerk right next door to kind of be your literal gatekeeper to Sharlock tonight. All right, Beta now getting a little bit better luck on this roll here. And there it is, 350 big points for Beta, puts him 18 away from level 12. And that Drakima would definitely do it, except it is dodging. But it didn't dodge that one. So that 20 points will put Beta up to level 12. And here come the numbers. It is 11 power, 1 agility, 8 HP, and 1 MP. Level 12, and we have 39 agility. That is disgustingly bad, Tilo.
Yeah, it's not what you want. Now, that extra 11 attack power is going to be very convenient for Beta. He's going to go at this golem again, but it's increasing his range by a decent margin.
Yeah, Ryguy getting dodged by that Spectre, but gets it down for the points that he needs, 50 or 47, I beg your pardon. Scorpion down, and Kaishino Chikeki Hane Golem for 66. So that's going to definitely help Beta make this fight quicker.
Yeah, Beta catching up on that crit deficit that he had on Raigai.
You were right about that. He's gotten some crits, and he's gotten them on big-time enemies as well. Unfortunately, it's another one-turn sleep, so that's going to slow him down some. And another one-turn sleep, but this time it uses hurt. There you go. Golem's down. He's at 33.52 on that, and Raigai has finally found Cole.
And he's going to go just beyond here. He's going to find Grave, and he's going to know where literally everything is. So despite Beta's substantial experience point lead, if Raigai can get down to check Deep Grave, you know, and it has something of note, then he could be in really good shape.
It depends on what we have in the grave. I mean, again, Beta was able to make it on one shot. Now we'll see if Raigai is able to get fortunate here. As Beta has a red dragon problem. Raigai getting back attacked by a Magic Drakey. You know, I'm calling a Raigai race here, and we haven't seen any stone men. That disappoints me. Maybe they're all in Charlock.
Well, the problem is that it's the Swamp Cave spike tile, but nobody has any desire to go across the Swamp Cave, right?
That's it. That's going to have your stone man. And no one's going to dare look unless they're trying to grind for some, because red dragons right now at the moment don't look grindable. Speaking of red dragons, this is a problem for Raigai.
Yeah, that extra 12 HP for Beta definitely improving the odds of getting away.
That's not going to work for Raigai. So this grave is going to be nasty.
I think Beta's checking out this Hawksness zone real fast. He's seen a Magic Drakey, so it's not great so far.
And I got Druid Lords here. Druid Lords aren't so bad because they are worth 58 points. There you go, 58 more points for Beta.
All right, I gotta sit here and grind to level 11, hope that it's something better for him.
Yeah, definitely indeed. There's a Wraith Knight on both sides and gets dodged. Now Raigai's getting all the dodges here. He's getting all the crits earlier. Now he's getting all the dodges as we get simultaneous kills of the Wraith Knight, 72 points each.
Droll Magi with Weak Breath. So yeah, you've got this entire mid-tier zone right here between the Droll Magi, the Druid Lord, and the Wraith Knight. So yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's a pretty lucrative grind. 58 points are the Droll Magi, so another 58 coming Beta's way. Axe Knight for Raigai is able to escape. Yeah, we're at the 71-minute mark. This has definitely been a slog of a seed up to this point.
So I do wonder how long it's going to be till Raigai decides to stop grinding and tries to go back out and explore, because, again, either of our players can go down into Deep Grave and see it, and if they get past that first zone, there may be no more red dragons waiting for them, and getting past the first zone isn't enormous, just have to probably avoid maybe 3-4 encounters with the red dragon, and so there's a chance that could still be something worthwhile, but I'm curious to see when our runners will do it. Now, if Beta gets something substantial in this one, enough where he could go at the red dragon, then obviously he'll do Deep Grave immediately afterwards.
Which makes a lot of sense. Well, we'll see if we get a nice big boost here. Now, also keep in mind that Beta still only has the axe, whereas Raigai does have the broadsword, so he does have the attack power advantage once he gets to level 12, of course.
Worth noting right now for Beta that he does have 1,500 gold, and he's only like 6 tiles from Cantlin, so he could go get that broadsword as soon as he wants to get it as well. It doesn't look like anything is here is threatening, so he has no reason to wait or to do it now rather than waiting till level 13. But that is available to him now at relatively low risk. Although there are red dragons between Cole and Cantlin and Hawksness.
Well, Raga gets back attacked by a golem. It's literally a red brick wall, and that's going to send him home. Now, what Beta could do is once he gets the level, maybe he goes back to Cantlin, gets his broadsword, heals up, and then, you know, if the level up is good enough, he goes after that red dragon.
I mean, honestly, even if it's just a little bit of HP or agility, I'm okay because, again, I could dive deep grave, and if you dive deep grave and it has the sword, then all of a sudden a lot of these things go a whole lot faster. You can grind golems the rest of the way pretty easily.
This will put him very, very close to the level, but put him just a few points short.
And Ryguy is going to go check the spike tile himself and get the disappointing news.
Yeah, he's going to see it's a red dragon, and this Droll Magi will definitely do it for Beta to get the next level. Oh, they have heal to go with that baby breath. That's no good.
Yeah, that's really annoying, but it's nice. The range we hit, we underswing the heal just barely, so we won't put him back in heal range after the first swing, but we'll clear the range the second swing most of the time.
7670, but most importantly, we just got hurt more, and that's huge for Beta. Now he can start wrecking green dragons and axe knights.
Also might be worth going and checking the swamp spike at this point in time to see if that's something we can throw hurts out.
And Beta did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Once he got the level up, he hightailed it back to Cantlin. He's got his broadsword now. I mean, yeah, you got to buy the broadsword because the odds of you landing a hurt more on a red dragon aren't they 1 in 16?
Yeah, which means Ryguy could easily kill one.
With his luck, yeah, maybe. It's possible.
I mean, he's landed 2 1 in 16s already. Land 2 1 in 16s on these red dragons. He got it down.
Sure thing. Oh, Ryguy can't run away from the Wraith Knight, and he's sent back again. So Beta continuing to increase that lead as Beta gets dodged by a red dragon. Come on, 1 in 32 chance. All the dodges here. I can't wait to see the dodge counter. You know, these enemies could run their own dodge dealership the way they've been handing out dodges tonight, Tilo.
Yeah, they've been quite dodgy, but Beta is he's taking slightly risky swings because you kind of have to in order because the HP isn't quite enough to be able to just absorb everything. But sometimes you get free swings like that one. But he's doing enough that he's gonna be able to get through this unless the red dragon gets real mean and rolls a super high roll on him.
Or they have heal mores on the back. Or they have heal mores on the back.
That'll do it too.
80 to 106 HP of damage is what you need. And Beta's been rolling pretty well here. One more attack could do it here. And there you go. Big rolls at the end. 350. Is there anything there? There's the sword. So that does mean Stones is engraved behind chest 4 or chest 5. And there's a pretty good chance that Erdrick's armor, where we might be playing Pyramid Game tonight for 25,000 gold.
Yeah, it's basically an 87.5% chance that we will indeed be playing the Pyramid Game.
A 1989 Dodge Shadow. What do you think this is, Nitz Guy? The Bob Eubanks version of Card Sharks? I had to throw that one out there. And yeah, Beta's going to go again. He's going to try to get another red dragon down to get another 350 points.
And I would assume now he's going to leave and go refill his resources and head straight to Grave to get that knowledge finished, and then probably come right back here. Or the question is, do you come back here where you have to kind of use the resources up like this, or do you? I mean, I guess you always go with the golem no matter what at this point, because you can get hurt sometimes, and you're going to kill him in roughly the same number of swings.
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. Yeah, with that Erdrick sword, that takes Beta up to 108 attack power. But yeah, that attack power is still low. 75 HP still low as well. Again, Death Necklace, I don't see it in play right now. Anything, of course, is possible. But Beta is now going to head to the north, and it looks like, yep, he's going for the grave. Yeah, Ryguy's still grinding at start here, and Beta is really pulling away. And here's where that hurt more is going to come into play on these Axe Knights, unless, of course, you get a swing and a miss just like that. At least he one-shotted it, because that could have added insult to injury, that you use it, you miss, you use it again, you still don't kill it. If chest 4 does not have the stones, then we know by process of elimination that the pyramid game is on, unless, of course, the armor is here. But no, the stones are in 4, so there's still a slight possibility that the pyramid game is canceled tonight. I, of course, am hoping that that's not the case, but the possibility remains.
What's the thing they say? You've now got the pyramid, judges table, or the audience.
That's right. I love that. Yeah, pyramid, judges table, or the audience. What's it gonna be, folks? What's it gonna be? Beta almost there. Looking like there's no red dragons in this zone. Beta's had a nice walk to get to this final chest, and it is the fighter's ring for an additional 2 attack power points. So that does mean, folks, the 25,000 pyramid is in play. So you can make your shots right now, or you can wait until we get into Sharlock. But the 25,000 gold pyramid is on tonight. That could also mean a double dive potentially, in all likelihood, because we're going to be using a lot of resources to get to that armor.
Yeah, I know Beta's not a big fan of the double dive, but a lot of it's going to be based upon, you know, kind of where the levels go. The big thing you want to make sure you have if you go to a first dive is you want to make sure you have the resources to take fights on your way down. You don't want to just be running from stuff that is. You'd be better off grinding an extra level if you wanted to do that. So we found Brecconary. Look at that.
We finally found Brecconary, and there was much rejoicing. So Beta just going to fill up here at the inn. Might fill up on some fairy waters too, but that's about it.
I personally am a big dive as soon as you can to get the armor person, but you know, with 75 HP, you've got to be able to take better fights, and so you still just can't do it right now. Not enough MP to cover the low HP, so your stats won't support that at the moment, so you just got to go back and grind again. And Brecconary's over here. He's going to have to go a little south and west near Garenham again to get to Cantlin and stuff.
Beta getting some free turns in as they were using stop spell. That time used the baby breath, but get some nice swings to take care of the blue dragon for 180. And Beta will be more than happy to take this green dragon and gets the one shot. He's getting some good rolls here. Is ahead by over 2,300 points.
Worth noting that, you know, we do know that the werewolves have DL2, and at this point our agility is trash, so even with the silver shield, we're not going to be repelling them at the moment. And then we also have not seen armored knights yet, as far as I can recall. Nope. I think that's have
no stone men.
Stone men, yeah.
No.
So those are the 2 potential wrenches we could see on the dive.
I haven't seen those yet. Beta'll have no problem with that.
The jerk is right behind Sharlock. Sharlock is, I believe, just north of Garenham, and Beta's over here kind of northeast of Cole now. So he's kind of exploring all the nothing over in this direction, whereas he just needs to go a little west of, or a little north of Garenham, I believe, and that's where Sharlock is.
And Magic Wyvern's another one that's nice that automatically goes down in 1 hurt more, as Ryguide needs to get to level 13 ASAP. Golem. Let's see if Beta decides to take this fight for the 350 points. I would imagine he's gonna.
Yeah, definitely going to take that fight. The question is, how much fluting is he willing to do?
Well, he's got 46. He's got 76. He's got 104 before it finally decided to wake up as Ryguy now back to the grave. 104 is where Beta currently stands. There's 136, still not enough. Now, golems cannot dodge, so, you know, he could have swung and that probably would have been the win there, but Beta probably not keeping track of the count. Showboat crit. That's a showboat crit right there, folks. Gets a crit when he absolutely positively did not need it. 3 power, 20 agility. There we go. 4 HP, 4 MP. There's heal, hurt, and stop spell, and return. Everything else there on level 14, the quadruple spell get, and just like that run, 65 agility.
Yeah, that defense power gain is definitely helpful, and of course when we get the armor, we'll be at 82 defense, so still not ideal, but at least it allows you to increase your odds of running from stuff you don't want at this point, and will help you get down Sharlock.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. Ryguy still in the grave here, still so far so good. And yeah, Beta sees another golem, and he's gonna take this to get another 350 points. We need to get to 7,500 points to get to level 15. Ryguy picking up the Stones of Sunlight. So now he can get the Rainbow Drop. If he keeps going, he'll be able to get the Fighter's Ring. And the good old dodginess of the Demon Knight strikes again on Beta's side, but just needs a couple of good hits. I'll be able to take it down. There you go. Sees another one. Gets the one-shot kill. Ryguy does not have the hurt more, so he's going to have to try and run. But no, he wants this fight. He does want this fight.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of risk to this fight at this point, so... Oh,
okay, he changed his mind. I think he wanted to see how much he could hit it for before deciding to continue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's having problems running away from it, though, unfortunately. So far, that's 2 fails. Does get away that time around, so Ryguy can continue. Uh-oh, that's a metal slime. Well, he misses that try.
The sleep attempts are very humorous to me. Like, that's not on my radar as like one of the top 6 things I try.
I get it, because your odds of running away are practically the same.
Well, yeah, but your odds of hitting him are 1 and 2. Your odds of landing a crit is only half of the odds of landing that sleep.
Well, he got 2 hits, but decided to run away. So still no heal slime win or metal slime wins for anybody at this point. As we welcome Nest Cardinality. Thank you so very much for the raid. We've got Beta taking on Ryguy here in game number 2 of the semifinals of the 2025 Summer Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. Beta up 1-0. So if Beta ends up winning tonight, he moves on to the Grand Championship to take on Cherno. If Ryguy wins, he will force a deciding 3rd game.
And now this comes down to, I mean, the last game came down to neither player being able to find a location and then Beta finding it first. Now, if Beta somehow gets turned around in this map and keeps going all sorts of places, he's getting lots of experience, so it's going to be real hard for Ryguy to catch up still. But, you know, Ryguy's done with everything at this point, and it can just focus on a grind now. I guess he hasn't killed the Red Dragon yet, but that's where he'll go next, so...
Right.
So if Beta gets himself turned around and just doesn't find the Jerk and Sharlock that's right there, you know, that could be a difference in this.
Oh, certainly. Exploration has definitely been a deciding factor in plenty of Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament races in the past, and it possibly could rear its ugly head again against Beta. We'll see if he's able to find Sharlock, though, because once he finds Sharlock, he'll find that Jerk Cave.
And I don't actually even have any sense of where he is on the map at this point.
Neither do
He's
I.
gone so far all over the place.
Yeah, that could very well be a problem here because Ryguy's found everything he needs. He just needs to get the experience. But again, the problem is there's a Metal Slime immediately runs away from Ryguy. The problem is Ryguy is just horrifically back, and Beta's taking every attack he sees that's worth his while. All right, Ryguy going to try again and again, fail to take down that Metal Slime. Now he sees a green dragon again. That's just where Hurtmore would really help him. I think it's Hurtmore himself. But yeah, you see that lead. It's over 3,300 points, and Beta could get another 350 out of this.
Yeah, I think Beta checking that and sticking at that Hawksness zone really was a massive benefit going from 12 to 13. And Ryguy saw a little bit of the Hawksness zone, but he saw a skeleton that Beta hadn't seen in a long, for the time he grinded there. I don't think he ran into one skeleton. He only ran into the better stuff.
Beta ran into one skeleton, and then there's also Magidrakes there as well, but he only ran into one of each.
So I don't think Ryguy saw the good stuff and decided that's not a good place to grind. So he's going to go over here, and the green dragons are fine. He's getting there. He's only like 3 green dragons away at this point, so he'll get there pretty soon, and then he can make a decision whether he wants to throw Hurtmore stuff out there or if he wants to go try to grind on the red dragons.
And he gets dodged again by a wizard. Both of these runners getting dodgy, but Rygan, when he had all those crits early, now he's getting all the dodges here. Now Beta runs into another golem, and this golem would put him at level 15.
Yeah, the game's just kind of throwing experience at Beta right here, which is very beneficial for him, given how much dead exploration he's been doing.
It certainly has indeed. I mean, it is a slow fight because you got to use that fairy flute. They hit like a Mack truck if they don't use the hurt spell. And it seems like they wake up on one turn more often than not. It's supposed to be a 1 in 3 chance. It feels like it's about a 4 in 5 chance of waking up instead, like that. And Ryguy gets another wizard down, putting him 65 points away from level 13, which will give him that Hurtmore spell. And there is level 15 now for Beta. Let's see what it brings him. 3 power, no agility, 11 HP, and 8 MP. So the power's starting to creep up, but that agility is still awful. Good thing both of these runners have a silver shield.
Yeah, the agility is bad, but the HP at 90 really makes that red dragon grind a lot nicer. You will have opportunities to potentially get 2 swings in before you have to heal more at the beginning of the battle, and it just gives you a little bit more safety. You won't have to worry about like them swinging into danger range, and so your survivability will be a lot better. It just makes it a little bit nicer, just that little extra HP.
Beta finding the other end of that mountainous dead end and goes back to start. He's going to refill on his magic. And Ryguy finally getting that level 13, which will give him the all-important Hurtmore. But he is over 3,300 experience points behind Beta at this point.
And based upon his movement, I'm thinking he is also planning on checking out this red dragon now that he has that 75 hit points.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, red dragons don't have anything at all. There's a crit. One-shots the Druid Lord for 58 points.
Speaking of not having anything, the red dragon, or not the red dragon, but the golem does not appear to have any healing on the back end, or we've gotten really, really lucky.
Right, I'm guessing they don't have anything. We've seen plenty of golems go down on Beta's side, and even if it was a 25% chance, you would think by now it would have used it at least once.
And something we had overlooked is the fact that Beta actually never finished clearing Mountain Cave because Red Dragon sent him out multiple times. So now he's going there hoping the armor is in there, will be disappointed, and then we'll go back to searching for Charlotte. And Guy gets the classic hurt more miss menu, where the first time you get hurt more when you're used to just having heal more, you have that menuing where you just hit up and hit A, and he is on the red dragon, needs to heal himself, and instead throws a hurt more at the red dragon. Red dragon kills him, sends him home. It's unfortunate. It happens a lot to everybody.
Yep, it most certainly did indeed. Yep, try to use the hurt more. Yep, it's a 1 in 16 chance. Same odds as the Dragon Lord. And there's that DL2 breath. Guy does get the werewolf down for the 95 points.
I'd be tempted to throw a second hurt more there, because those werewolves are also pretty dodgy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've seen that. Yeah, for those who don't know, werewolves are 764, so literally a 1 in 8 chance they'll dodge. In fact, I believe they are the second dodgiest enemy in the game, next to, of course, the Demon Knights.
That is correct. It looks to me like Ryguy may be looking to go towards Swamp now and see what may be on the spike there, to grind there before he gets to the Reds, since he had a bad experience against the Reds. It's not a guaranteed second safe swing, so you could potentially die multiple times, so I think he might be thinking, let's get another level on a hurt mortal enemy if we can, and so he's hoping there's an Axe Knight or a Green Dragon sitting on the Swamp spike, and we'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out indeed.
And Beta, if he goes just north of here, he will come across Sharlock, and so he's getting awfully close.
But let's see if he goes there or if he's actually heading for Swamp to grind there. Another Green Dragon down, and he goes back to Garanham. He's going to fill his resources.
Ryguy's barely going to have any MP to use on the spike tile by the time he gets there, but we just found out that the Magiwyverns have DL2 breath.
Yikes, that is disgusting. Yeah, using the hurt more is a guaranteed one-shot kill, and now Ryguy knows, and he is sent back to start again.
And Beta is heading north, which means he is looking for Sharlock, not the Swamp Cave, and he is going to find it quite shortly.
Yep, and that is really going to put Beta in the catbird seat here of making it to his first championship, provided he doesn't get stopped by anything.
So if he's in the catbird seat, would that make him Ramia to Ryguy's cat here?
Yeah, that's definitely would make sense to me, as Beta gets another 135 points. Continue to... Oh, no, he does. He goes back south. My goodness gracious here.
I think maybe he just wanted to clear off one little section. So
okay, there now he sees Sharlock, and if he goes a little north, no, he just saw a piece of that cave. He almost missed the jerk cave there. That could have been disastrous, Tilo.
Yeah, the nice thing is, though, he'd gone north, and then when he went back around, he'd probably be going more towards the east side. So he'd probably seen it on his way back down anyway. But still, it was fun to think about how much longer it might have gone with him missing it.
Oh, absolutely indeed. So now Beta looks like he is going to make the attempt to get Erdrick's armor. So, all right, folks, it's the moment you've been waiting for here in this seed. Well, for a moment here, we're going to take care of this Wyvern first. One shot, one kill. It is time for you to predict where you think Erdrick's armor is. It is either going to be on the bottom row of the pyramid, $50, $100, or $150 chest, or it's in the middle row, the $200 or $250 chest, or it's the top of the pyramid, which is the $300 chest, or it's behind the judges table. Make your selections for the 25,000 gold.
So Beta just threw a hurt more at a Star Wyvern. It missed. Beta threw a second hurt more at a Star Wyvern. It missed. Beta decided to swing at the Star Wyvern. It dodged.
Of course, that is just game nose at its finest. Why do you think we call Star Wyverns jerk birds?
So this is one of those situations that's interesting in terms of going to judges or not, because in most situations, in terms of average time, in fact, in every situation in terms of average time, going to the treasury is the best option. However, if you are doing a dive just for armor, and armor is on the judges table, and you go there first, you get that treasure chest faster than you would get any other treasure chest. So your floor is lower if you go judges first on a double dive.
Oh no! Back attack by our werewolves. We have werewolves in this zone. That could be trouble. You know what? I'm going to go for full chaos here. Give me judges table. I think judges table is going to have our armor tonight.
Having said all that, I do suspect that Beta will indeed go towards the treasury. It is the odds play.
Oh yeah, I would too. I'm just saying, I think we're going to see chaos. I think we're going to have to see these runners earn it. We might see a triple dive if this doesn't fare well for Beta. I think I'm going for ultimate chaos. I'm going to say judges table, and I don't say judges table very often, folks.
One of the other factors in terms of whether you go judges table first or not is the monster set. And so far, we do have those werewolves, which are kind of risky, but if you just stay topped up, they apparently aren't like full DL2, so I don't know how much, whether it's 25 or 50, but you've got good odds of them not getting that DL2 on you. So your odds of surviving this zone going up to judges are pretty good based on what we've seen in these first two zones. If you go down to the next floor, you could run into an armored knight, a red dragon, something that you're just going to lose all your resources trying to run from. So I personally would go judges here because of the monster set and because I'm doing a double dive, but I still think Beta will do the other.
Oh yeah, I certainly think. I mean, that's the percentage play, because again, it's only a 1 in 7 chance that it's going to be behind the judges table. But of course, we have seen it before in the past. As Ryguy gets level 14 now, and we got reds in this zone as well. Now Beta is going to attack it. I mean, I don't know if he can get here on this single tank of gas, Tilo.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this attack here as well, but I mean, I said it before that if you're going to dive Sharlock, you want to be getting experience, and one thing he is getting from this is knowledge of what's in these zones, which is not insignificant.
Yeah, he's still a ways away, and with as low of an HP as he's got and resources, you think he goes for judges table now?
Having said everything I said about the zone, as soon as I see that red dragon, I actually go down and not towards judges table because I want to get out of the red dragon zone as quickly as possible.
I think he got mercied on that green dragon. That is disgusting. And he's going to use his herbs here, and that's the last of his herbs. Now, he still is healing 1 HP every 4 steps he takes. He's capped off at 90. He's made it to the U. So no, he's not going for judges table.
So we've seen Star Wyverns and Green Dragons in this bottom floor.
Again, he run fails from a Green Dragon. Finally escapes. That's the 5th time in 6 attempts he's failed. My God, these Green Dragons at 65 agility, this is just harsh run luck that Beta is going through right now. And he does get through the hallway without an encounter. And now he runs into an Axe Knight. He wants to keep his resources. He's got 1 heal more left he can use. He's about to hit it. All right, and now for 25,000 gold, here is your first subject. Go. And there it is right off the top. The $150 chest had Erdrick's armor, so it is a successful dive for Beta.
I'm curious what he's looking for here. He's going to have to refill all his herbs, so 1 herb's not going to do a whole lot for him. So I'm curious what he is looking for in terms of why he keeps checking the rest of the chests.
Meanwhile, while that was going on, Ryguy did take the red dragon down, and he just picked up Erdrick's sword.
And now Beta has armor. He left himself enough impede outside and is going to now make very quick work of that red dragon. And we saw 3 of the monsters in the bottom zone, we have not seen any Armored Knights. We have not seen any Stonemen so far. We've only seen Red Dragons in the middle zone. So it looks like the dive's going to be pretty tame. And so, you know, that tells you when you get to a borderline level, you're going in. But Beta, given all the exploration he did to try to find Charlock that was right there, is going to go at the first opportunity it makes any sense.
Absolutely. Now, having said that, that means I got to flip a coin between Stoneman and Armored Knight as Spike Tile, because I always like to call this whenever we see that there's an enemy that we have not seen yet. I always like to call it for the Spike Tile, but I'm gonna have to flip a coin on this. Heads if it's heads Stoneman, tails Armored Knight.
I gotta go with Stoneman here because that's Beta's like nemesis.
Yeah,
he's got that Stoneman emote and everything.
I just flipped my coin. Yep, it came up heads Stoneman. That's my guess too.
Interestingly enough, Beta is going ahead and setting up for Fairy Water strats. I assume he's not going to sell the Death Necklace yet, but he's going to go ahead and get the rest of the Fairy Waters he can hedging. He's only 14 experience points to the next level, so it's possible this could be all for naught. But given how much stats they need, it's likely that this could be beneficial to him. And if we get any more agility, or if we get, 7 more agility, then it starts being real valuable in terms of getting rid of werewolves and star wyverns, which we've seen are at least 5 of the 15 monster slots in Charlock.
Yeah, definitely indeed. So, yep, looks like Ryguy is going to grind on these red dragons. Beta buying all of the fairy waters he can here in Cantlin, and yeah, we're never going to know what's on the Spike Tile in Swamp, and Swamp is just so far out of the way, and the odds of it being a more lucrative grind aren't that great.
Yeah, it might have been a more lucrative grind on that first Hurtmore level potentially, but if it had fewer hit points, if you have an Axe Knight there, but you just didn't have enough MP, and it was so long to get there that the refill just made it not feasible if there's a decent grind here in Hawks's, which there is.
And Ryguy, he's had one heck of a tournament, but unless Charlock comes into play, and multiple times at that, it's looking like his tournament might potentially be over. But again, anything is possible in Dragon Warrior Randomizer, as Beta just picked up level 16 with that kill with 11 power, 4 agility, no HP, and 7 MP. And that HP still isn't good enough. We got to keep going.
Yeah, we got a ways to go here. Level 16, not one stat in the green.
Yeah, that is absolutely awful, because right now we are rocking 6 to 13. That means you're averaging 9.5, and you're sitting on 12 heal mores. Not even close to enough resources to make this fight, even if the HP didn't matter.
I mean, you could always equip the Death Necklace and take the Dragon Lord out at 6. What is that going to be, like 68 HP, something like that?
Let's see. Yeah, 68. You're absolutely right, because I believe in this case your HP is rounded up when you use your Death Necklace. So, yep, you're right. So is this going to be one of those level 20 seeds? You just never know. It could happen tonight. Make your prediction, chat. What do you think is go level? 17, 18, 19, or 20 plus? Make your predictions, chat.
My guess would probably be level 18. There's so many paths for us to be go viable in terms of different stats that I feel like at least one of them is going to hit. But of course, if HP flatlines, it doesn't matter how the other stats go. You're almost never going to go at 90 HP. Almost.
No shot. Your agility has to be better than that. I think 19. I'm going to say level 19 will be go level, but we'll see.
The nice thing is if you got to go that far, at least it's on a grind that's not horrible. Every level is like 7 red dragons.
Yeah, which again, not the worst. I mean, yes, they have bite more. You kind of wish that they had like hurt to go with it or stop spell or something like that. But again, they don't have DL2 breath. They don't have hurt more. They don't have heal more. So, you know, it could be worse. Now, obviously, actually, with as much as they're using their attacks, you guys actually would wish they would use hurt more if they had it. But of course, they don't.
Beta's trying to stretch this to level 17. He swung on the red dragon on his third swing when it was...
Oh, that's going to hurt his chances. That dodge right there.
He did enough damage on the first two swings. He thought he could heal it on the third. He gave it a shot. He did. And, of course, now this red dragon wants to be less cooperative.
Yeah, he's going to need a good hit on this one. Not good enough. Yeah, that dodge, unfortunately, means Beta will have to wait on level 17.
I personally am not a big fan of the trying to stretch for a level in this situation where you're far enough down. If there's one where you've got a stat that needs to go up like 3 or 4, I totally see it. But the odds that that's going to be the level are low enough to me that I think you're better off going back. Although, actually, now that I look at it, it's really not as far a walk to Hux as I thought it was, so probably not a big
Wow. Beta got a low roll on that hurt more, and that was still enough to take down that werewolf. Werewolves have anywhere between 53 and 70, so got a break there, because again, DL2 breath these werewolves have, and Beta's going right back to the red dragon, so this, again, will give him the level once he gets it taken down. Now, Right Guy catching up just a little bit is just not going to be enough because he's just too far back. He's like 7 or 8 red dragons back. Beta just got to level 17. We'll see how close he gets to Gomo. There's 11 more power, 2 agility, only 3 HP, and 2 MP. I mean, the power's nice. The problem is our HP, we're still not in the safe zone yet.
Yeah, and we don't have the resources to cover for it. I mean, I've taken 93 HP Dragonlord fights before, but you'd want a lot more than 85 defense to deal with that, for one, and you need a lot more MP because you need to be able to absorb double heals. So, yeah, it's still completely unfeasible.
I mean, in a Hail Mary, you could try it, but yeah, I agree. This is not feasible. Ryguy just got to level 16. He's going to see it's nice, but not nice enough to make the dive.
Yeah, well, he might decide it's nice enough to make the armor dive.
Right. That's exactly what he might be doing right now. Because, again, he knows where Sharlock is, and he knows where the Jerk Cave is. So it looks like he might be heading there right now. Getting back attacked by a red dragon, not the best. So Ryguy's going to have to get lucky here. And he does.
When you're grinding a red dragon spike tile, it is nice when strength is not the trailing stat, because even though our HP is taken whatever, with AP up at 138, you're often 3-shotting these red dragons now, which means you can kill them without a heal more, and even at 93 HP, which just makes the grind so much easier and faster, versus if you had a lot of HP but your AP was really, really bad, then yeah, you wouldn't have to heal more as much, but you'd be swinging so many times, and being able to get through them so quickly is just really, really nice.
Another 3-shot of that red dragon. Our next level's at 14,250. Beta is just 2 red dragons away from getting to that number.
Fun thing about this grind is you're always just a few more battles to the next level, but it's also fun that if somebody's in a massive deficit and there's a spike like this, then you're often only like 12 kills to catch back up. Like, it's such a small amount because it goes so fast.
He's leading by almost 4,000 1,000 experience points right now is Beta. I mean, that's 10, 11, that's 12 red dragons. That is the deficit right now that Ryguy currently has on Beta, plus Erdrick's armor. So there is level 18 now for Beta. He's looking to get a good amount of HP. Some agility would be nice. 1 power, 4 agility, 14 HP. That, I think, is go mode, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's absolutely go mode, and that extra agility means that he is now repelling the Star Wyverns and the Werewolves. He has those Fairy Waters he can use for the dive, and he will be repelling at least 33% of Sharlock, if not more.
So there you go. So, yep, that means right now it's still 9 to 19. That means you're averaging 14 per hit. You have a total of 13 heal mores. And if you're averaging 14, yep, the math definitely checks out.
My chart says that if you get 12 swings on the Dragon Lord, you're going to have an 89% chance to win. Get 13 swings, you'll have a 99% chance to win. And we have 13 heal mores, and you can generally do heal mores +2 as a good baseline for how many swings you're going to get. So we have really a couple of heal mores to spare to get through this. And given what we know about this dive, I don't see us losing a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's pretty much getting there is going to be half the fun. And again, Beta had a decent dive here. And yep, he's going to use those Fairy Waters, which is smart because, again, you do have some nasty enemies in here. I mean, green dragons do have hurt more, which that's kind of annoying. This Beta is able to escape from the blue dragon. But yeah, also with that extra agility, not only can you, you repel those 2 enemies that you had mentioned, the wizards and the werewolves. Also, DL2 can only melee you for up to 48, same as a max DL2 breath. So that's always helpful.
Yeah, especially when you're running on kind of a lower HP run, that really makes a difference because you only have a little bit of margin to spare with in terms of avoiding double heal mores.
Yeah, because there's always that possibility you could get a really bad heal more, and if it decides to go DL2 breath on you or a high melee, you might have to use that double heal more, which is always annoying. All right, guys, just a few points away from level 17. Man, if he feels he's behind, I mean, again, he needs to make this dive as soon as possible. He's going back into Hawk's Nest. This would give him level 17. Again, he still needs the armor.
Meanwhile, Beta gets through the entire second zone without running into a red dragon, I believe, which is quite nice, as we have not seen one on the bottom floor as of yet.
Yeah, the problem is on 75 agility, it's still hard to run away from a red dragon. It's about a 2% chance. I know it's more than that, but golly, does it feel like 2%. Beta getting back attacked by an Axe Knight. That's annoying, but he's able to run away from it. And there's Ryguy getting level 17 on these red dragon grinds here in Hawk's Nest. And he's going to keep going.
Yeah, it does not like that HP. The nice thing for Ryguy is that these stats are so good that you can do a single dive for this fight.
I agree.
The bad news is that you don't have Erdrick's armor, and that extra 4 defense is what allows you to repel werewolves, which are blowing DL2 breath out there. So it is a much higher risk, higher potential resource.
There it is. We called the shot. Stoneman on the spike tile. We called the shot there, Tilo.
Now, is it going to wake up and show us what it has? Nope. It's going to be...
No, Beta's going to three-shot it.
Three-shot, and boom.
Look at those rolls. A 59 on a Stoneman. That is crazy. All right, so Beta, with all the resources intact, has a very good chance of wrapping this up tonight and punch the ticket to the Grand Championship. So let's see what happens here. That's an attack. Still rolls high even with an attack here. 2 shots it. I don't think Beta was expecting that. Yep. All right, let's see if he gets the first strike here on the Dragon Lord. He does not, unfortunately. So he's going to have to use a heal more immediately. So that kind of sucks, but I think he's still in pretty good shape here.
Yeah, he's still going to get 13 swings in almost certainly, and so again, that's a 99% chance.
He starts with a 16. You need between 150 and 165 points to win the fight. Now 26, that's a bad roll against 9 to 19, so that is definitely a low roll right there. So 26 is where he currently has. Could get a double if it's another one. Let's roll, but it's instead a DL2 breath. 44 is where Beta stands though after that 18. All right, and 54. So he's kind of alternating between high, low at this point.
Yeah, but average is all you need here, so that's pretty good so far.
All right, 54 now at 66. So he's currently averaging about 13.2 on these swings. He's up to 66. Next attack, another bad roll. That's 77. So now he's averaging under 13. Now he's at 91, so he's averaging 13 again. That's 7 attacks. He's got 91. There's a good roll, 109. Yeah, he's almost guaranteed at this point. 124. $139. Yep, at this point. Yep, next swing could do it. Yeah, at this point, he's guaranteed even if he min rolls the rest of the way. So he is guaranteed at this point. 151. So he needs 14 or more to cover the entire spread and win this fight. And there's 167, and that is going to do it. Get your GGs out for Beta. His incredible run continues, and he is moving on to the Grand Championship to take on the rookie Cherno for this year's summer title. What a performance and what a run from Beta up to this point. Right, guy, you got to give him all the credit in the world. He made it to the semifinals for the first time in summer tournament play, but his luck finally runs out to the longtime veteran Beta.
Yeah, these two players, both absolute veterans who have been at the top of the field since they started, basically, and it's nice to see them both be here, but unfortunately only one can advance, and it happens to be Beta this time. Again, he's worked so hard at this, definitely well-deserved, well-earned, and I'm very much looking forward to kind of seeing, again, the vet versus the rookie in the finals.
Absolutely, indeed. The official time for Beta, 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 50 seconds. So 70 seconds under the 2-hour mark. Very difficult seed, quite the slog of a seed, but an impressive performance nonetheless tonight from Beta Strep. Moving on to his first summer championship, and we'll be looking to take home the title. But I tell you what, I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a grudge match. You've got the rookie versus the veteran. It is going to be exciting. Beta versus Cherno. No telling what's going to happen in these finals. It's going to be exciting.
133 heal mores, only 7 crits for Beta, despite everything. It was just 6 of those 7 crits were exceptionally timely.
Yes, they were indeed. He didn't quite get as many crits. Well, I mean, obviously, if Ryguy does finish this, we'll see if he finishes, and we'll see what his numbers end up being. But yeah, just another solid performance. I mean, Beta's exploration was good. I mean, Ryguy, resorted to, I think he probably over-grinded in this seed and didn't do enough exploration to keep up with Beta tonight. All right, and we do have our winner here, Beta, in the commentator's booth with us. Congratulations, Beta. I'm telling you what, this run that you've been on has been nothing short of amazing. You have made it to the Grand Championship. You're going to be taking on Cherno for a chance at this year's summer title. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm just kind of mentally exhausted. Like that.
I can imagine.
That seed was it was actually very interesting. but also a bit panic-inducing because it was a slog at the start, but there was also just such a cluster of locations all around start, basically, like especially to the northwest. But then like I came back and saw Rim after seeing the cluster to the northwest, and I was just like, oh no, if Sword's in there, and it's like, but then I thought back, I'm like, well, wait a minute, like it's not like we started with gold or anything. Like you really had to earn it to get to the point where you had gold to buy keys. So I'm just like, well, I'm probably fine.
Yeah, definitely indeed. And right now, Rye Guy is in Charlock right now. He still has to get his armor. He only needed to use one heal more. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, this was a slog of a seed. Now, funny thing is, Rye Guy saw a metal slime before he got to 20 strength, got the first 2 hits, and then boom, blasted by a Hurtmore, and did not get those 64 points that could have, maybe had some kind of swing on this game, because none of you got a metal slime kill. You had the experience lead practically wire to wire. I mean, that was another thing that also helped you. Your grinding was more lucrative than Rye Guy's grinding. Rye Guy pretty much grinded near start almost the entire way until very late in this race. That hurt him. Exploration. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Rye Guy also only found Garanham and Ribbledar for the first section, which means he was not able to find Cantlin and get the copper sword, so he was swinging with fists for a huge portion of that grind.
Oh, that would do it.
Yep, that hurt him as well. I mean, your exploration, you found a lot of the towns way earlier. I mean, Rye Guy found Rimmildar first, obviously before he had any money, but he did find Rimmildar well before you did, Beta. But I think more importantly, Beta, you found all of the business districts much faster than Rye Guy. And, Rye Guy, again, he was using fists for a good chunk of this race, and I think that hurt him as well. So, yeah, your exploration was good. Your grinding decisions was also very good. And you've just been playing like this throughout the entire tournament, and it's paid off for you. Big win for you tonight. Congratulations again, and you're taking on Cherno. What are your thoughts about this up and coming rookie here who's made it all the way to the championship?
Well, I've played him a lot. Like, I've probably played him something like 90 times in the past year or something like that. Like, we've raced a lot. Like, he's like Hoodie will typically do like Saturday midday races, and Cherno will join them, I'll join them, and then some casuals during the week will also join. And
so
he finished second to me in the last standard weekly league that we had. So like, I'm very familiar with him.
You've had plenty. Okay, that's great. So should be a good match if he finished second to you in the weeklies there. I mean, I know we've been calling Cherno a rookie, but it sounds like he's got plenty of Dragon Warrior Randomizer under his belt. But this is his first tournament, so by tournament standards, he's a rookie, but he's far from a rookie. And his gameplay throughout this tournament definitely shows his experience.
Yeah, I think Beta's rookie year, he and I had probably played 90 times before it started.
So this is good. Rye Guy had to use another heal more, so he's got 11 heal mores right now. So he can win this fight, but he can't lose it. In fact, this is a problem. He's gonna have to use something, because remember, there's a stone man on the spike tile, and if he uses that sleep spell, that's a heal more he's gonna lose.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting decision point. Speaking of interesting decisions, I want to know how you were feeling fighting a golem doing like 6 to 13 damage on it, with it waking up every turn from the fairy flute.
I felt wonderful about it, Tilo. I was just the epitome of calm, cool, and collected. I'm just like, yep, it's gonna wake up every time. It's like, I figured at that point, I didn't know how much hurt it had. I knew it was casting it, but I didn't know what its percentage was. I figured.
Oh, Stonemans have DL2 breath. We did not see that on your side, Beta.
That was another thing that concerned me. I'm like, this is the first time I've seen this thing the entire seed, which is why I cast sleep on it immediately.
That is so unfortunate, because if he doesn't see that DL2 breath, I think Ryguy keeps all his resources, but now he had to burn that heal more, and he's going to get there with the rest of his resources, but he's going to put on a curse belt. I love it. I love it. I mean, why the heck
they have the Wombo combo, actually. Had 25% sleep,
wow.
too.
Wow, they had the Wombo combo, and Beta got so lucky. You got to have some luck to win in these seeds, and boy, did you have it at the end there. Boy, did you have it at the end there, Beta. All right, so Ryguy's at the fight. He's good. He needs
thoroughly deliberates on whether or not to accept the Dragon Lord's offer.
All right, here we go. Ryguy needs the first strike to have any shot. He does get the first strike. If he gets a low roll on the attack, unfortunately it was DL2 breath. He got a low roll on his attack for only 10. So we know he needs at least 152. That's 22. These are not good rolls so far. We might see a YOLO more. This keeps up. That's much better. He's up to 40.
The good news is, given the low odds things he'd been doing throughout the seed, Yellowmore is pretty high odds comparatively.
Yeah, right. Exactly. 55. So his rolls have been okay. Needs to keep rolling like this or better to win this fight. If he gets another roll like that, 72. No. So he's up to 72. There's a high melee. 83. $95.
It's getting dicey here.
Yeah, these rolls need to be better. Or he needs to find a double somewhere. 106.
I mean, high rolls, he can still clear the range, but he's losing a lot of opportunities at this point.
I agree. 106, 116. Yeah, he's got 3 attacks left. Maybe 4 if he's super lucky. 129. He's going to need some big ones. He's going to need some big ones to cover this spread. He's at 129. 144. Even if he rolls max, he can't cover the entire spread. 163. He got the max roll, and it was enough. He just made it. Get your GGs out for Ryguy. He wins the fight, but unfortunately, he loses the war, and he will be eliminated, tied for 3rd place in this year's tournament. So he's got back-to-back bronze medals for this year's showing, combined with the winner and the Summer Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournaments. Let's see how many HP DL2 ended up having. 163 is what he finished with. 2:09:23. That is the official time. So a difference of 10 minutes and 33 seconds. So GG to both of these runners here. A very, very slog of a seed, to be sure. But unfortunately, it is the end of the tournament for Ryguy, but it's the furthest he's been in all of his Summer Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournaments, so props to him for making it this far.
While we're waiting to go, I'm just going to tell you, Beta, there was a point in the seed where Ryguy threw a sleep at a metal slime, landed it, it woke up the next turn, he threw a second sleep and landed it again.
That's actually incredible. Meanwhile, on the other end of it, I missed 2 consecutive hurt mores on the Star Wyvern and Charlock, and then got dodged.
Tilo spotted that. That was absolutely, positively crazy. Oh yeah, and then he had the octuple sleep fail on, what was it, a Rogue Scorpion? Was that a Rogue Scorpion?
That was the Star Wyvern. He tried to sleep the Star Wyvern 8 times in a row and didn't get it. So another one in 256.
Yeah, he had that going against him. We call them jerkbirds for a reason, Beta, and they definitely showed their prowess tonight. 20 crits. 20 crits. 20. That might be a record. I have no idea, but that's a lot of crits. He had 18 dodges compared to the 1230 dodges. Yeah, that's enough to do a Dodge dealership for sure. That is absolutely crazy. But quite a performance tonight from both of you, but again, I just think it came down to a couple of things. But the big one, I'd say, was the more lucrative grind. I mean, you ended up winning by more than 10.5 minutes, so there you go.
Yeah, Ragai sat on that kind of east, or the kind of south of Rimmeldar grind, where he was taking on Wolf Lords and Wraith Knights, but also was having to deal with the Axe Knights that were causing him problems, while you sat in that Star Wyvern, Wizard, whatever zone.
Yeah, I tested the zone south of Rim, and then because I saw the Wraith Knight earlier, and then I saw the Axe, I'm like, nah, that's a little bit too much for me at this point. I definitely like this seed a lot more than the one we had last night. Being able to sell the herb to buy the torch, and then turning that into something, and then just buying more and more torches. So it's like this is more my brand of DWR.
I knew you had to be so happy when you sold that herb for the torch. This could not have been a more beta move than that.
And we do have Ryguy here in the commentators booth with us. GG, a valiant effort tonight. Congratulations. This is the farthest you've made it in a summer Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament, but unfortunately, it just was not your night. 161 HP, by the way, so you had 2 HP to spare there, Ryguy, on your Dragon Lord fight. So props to you for getting that done, because towards the end of that fight, you were rolling low here. At 20 crits, Ryguy, I gotta ask the question, Ryguy, how many of those 20 crits were showboat crits?
No, how many were dodged?
Oh, did you have some? You had Vipers? I didn't notice.
Well, there was at least one. There was at least one. Oh no, there were 2. I got dodged by a red dragon and killed, and I got dodged by a Wraith Knight, and then immediately an excellent dodge. So yeah.
Yikes.
However, I'm very upset. Across the 2 seeds tonight and last night, 39 dodges. Dodge me one more time, you cowards. Who leaves it at 39? Honestly, Dragon Lord should have dodged me to make it an even 40.
I hear you there. Yeah, the dodges are crazy between you two. You had 30 dodges combined. It was ugly. But I think the one thing that might have set you back, Ryguy, is Beta kind of found a more lucrative grind mid-game. Your grinding was in the start area, and you weren't able to get the exploration in that Beta got early on, because while you were the first to find Rimmeldar, Ryguy, Beta had found practically the business district early on as well. So he was able to find more shops. He was able to get a weapon much earlier than you. Those, I think, were a couple of things that hurt you in this seed.
That was pretty much what I was figuring. I was tempted to say yes to the Dragon Lord at the end there, because after tonight and last night, I feel like we got to go and make Cantlin Hawksness version 2.0. That place is the worst now. Yeah, when did I find it? 45 minutes, an hour in, and the whole time before that, I'm sitting there punching Wolf Lords, and found Cantlin at whatever, thinking like, oh, yeah, every one of those Wolf Lord fights could have been how much faster? Like, I am so dead.
Yep, and that was the thing. Yeah, he found Cantlin pretty quick. Yeah, Wolf Lords. There were Droll Magi's. I mean, there was another grind that you were doing there, Beta, the one in Hawksness. Now, you had found some pretty good enemies to roll on. You know, there was Wraith Knights, and there were Druin Lords and Droll Magi's. I mean, you found a pretty lucrative grind to get to the level you needed before taking on that Red Dragon. That also helped you, Beta.
Yeah, the grinding mostly felt good to me in that seed. It was a little bit of a struggle early on, especially, but like when I first started fighting the greens and Star Wyverns, that was a little bit of a reach too. Like, I was using so many resources to fight through those things, but there just didn't seem to be any other like really good zones. Like the Wyvern zone would have been nice if it had been higher in counter tiles, but it also had the golem in it, so it's just like, I was fine with what I found.
Yeah, I do think that you kept the lead on Ryguy, and it was steady, maybe growing slightly, but when you went into Hawksness, that's when things really exploded. That grind just kind of rocketed you that one level, and then of course Hurtmore shows up after that, and it just and Repel, and you're going around the world just blowing up everything.
Oh, and another thing, yes, we were talking about this, the Stone Man fight. Beta had the Wombo combo. You never saw any of it. Ryguy saw the DL2 breath, and that is what made the DL2 fight very, very scary. But again, Ryguy pulling it off on the final attack with 2 HP to spare. If that would have been a much closer race, imagine, would have been one to talk about. But is what it is. I mean, great race between you two. Great tournaments for both of you. I mean, both of you, this was your first semifinals. So again, it was a shame that somebody had to lose, and unfortunately, Rye Guy, it ended up being you tonight. But you've got to be pretty happy about your performance in both tournaments this year.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I don't know, these last two were not my favorite, but yeah, GG's to Beta, and good luck in the finals. I am a little sad that, well, I was going to say none of us forfeited. I guess I was the only one in position to forfeit, but still, a little sad neither one of us forfeited, but it is what it is. So good luck in the finals, and GG's.
I would like to ask you
GG's to you too.
I would like to ask you one question, Ray Guy. What were your thoughts after landing a second consecutive sleep on a metal slime?
Oh my gosh, I was not sure if I was in some alternate dimension where you could actually do that. I was just messing around with the one. I assumed I was gonna, I forget where I was. I assumed I was gonna die, or we had like 7 agility, so I'm like, I can't run from this thing anyway. Let's chuck a sleep. Oh my gosh, it worked. And then I'm like, same thing. Let's chuck another sleep. Oh my gosh, it worked. Of course, I didn't kill it, but
you beat the 1 in 256 odds. But speaking of 1 in 256 odds, how about that octuple sleep fail on that Star Wyvern?
Oh, I believe that was post Cantlin, so I was just going for records at that point.
Yeah,
and man, that was impressive. I would have gone for more, except I ran out of MP.
Yeah, you didn't have any more MP to go for the non-oople sleep fail. But anyways, is what it is. Again, odds just were not on your side tonight there, Beta. But again, great tournament from you. And Beta, congratulations. Your first Grand Championship appearance. We wish you the best of luck against Cherno. It should be a fun one.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So again, please make sure you give both of our runners tonight a follow. Absolutely tremendous performance. Absolutely tremendous tournament from both. Again, please make sure you give them a follow, Rye Guy and Beta. We want to thank you all for being here tonight on DW Randomizer. Thank you very much to our restreamer Velu V, our tracker Shahali, and my commentator partner Tilo Tilo. A pleasure doing commentary with you tonight.
Fun as always.
So we're going to go ahead and we are going to raid Diabetes the Second here. And he's doing some Dragon Warrior shenanigans of his own. So for everybody here at DW Randomizer, thank you very much for watching. And until the finals, this is LOZ Cards Fan 23 signing off. Have a great rest of your evening. And we will see you again next time for the Grand Championship between Beta and Cherno right here on DW Randomizer. Good night, everybody.